So mostly what Brian and I do is what we call it Celtic music, and we kind of do a bunch of folk songs as well. So a lot of the time we do a more modern twist on really old English, Irish, or Scottish songs, and this is one of them. There's something called a collection called the Child Ballads. Does anyone know about this? Okay, I figured a couple of you would.
Some folk adherents in the front here. All right.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Julia Child wrote a bunch of ballads in the 1970s.
No, he's lying to you. That is not.
They have no idea. Yeah. They look entirely credulous.
They're like, really? No, that's a lie. No, so there was a guy by the name of Child, like hundreds of years ago, and he collected all of these ballads. And they don't know why he collected the ones that he did, except...
Although there's probably a book on that very subject somewhere.
Yeah,
in
we
this
should
room.
probably go find that after the show. But the ballads he collected tended to have like really dark themes. There was like murder and rage and jealousy and backstabbing, like all the fun stuff, basically. And which we also love. We love songs with those themes in them.
It's basically Game of Thrones set to music. It's
Correct,
good.
yeah. But in every single song I was looking up, like something terrible would happen to the woman. Like she will die, but usually something worse happens to her first. So I was like trying to find a song where that didn't happen. And so I honestly Googled child ballads where something terrible didn't happen to the woman. And there's a website dedicated to this. I believe there's 8 of them out of like hundreds. And this is one that I thought was kind of cool. It's called William Taylor. And I won't give away the ending, but the idea of the story is that there's a woman by the name of Sarah, and she falls in love with this guy, William Taylor. And William Taylor goes off to war, leaving her behind. And so after pining over him for a long time, she decides to dress up in a soldier's clothing. So she dresses up like a man to go after him. And eventually, of course, she's working and she's found out that she's a woman. And so the captain asks why she's there and why she dressed up like a man. And she says, well, I'm actually in love with this guy, William, and I'm looking for him. Do you know him? And he goes, I actually do know that guy because he just got married to the richest woman in town. So Sarah was not too happy about that. And he said, if you wake up really early tomorrow, you'll probably see William Taylor walking by with his new bride. And yeah, we'll let you guys listen to the song. So see what happens to William. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Taylor, enlisted in the army, he has gone away. He's gone and left his own true love all alone to lay. Sarah dressed herself in a soldier's clothing, boots and pistol on. She's gone to find her own true love. To find him she is gone, far away from home, into the world beyond. Captain came to her, knowing of a secret, asked what brought her here. I've come to find my own true love. Is William Taylor near? William Taylor, if he's the soldier from the town of Litchfield, oh I fear he's gone and wed a lady worth £10,000 a year. Sarah comes for you. She woke early, rising just before the dawning of the day, and she saw William Taylor with his lady did he lay. And with her pistol, a pistol that was brought to her at her command, she shot William Taylor with his lady by his hand. Oh, go on, William, run away and hide. captain came to her, thoroughly impressed in all that she had done, and he made her commander of a ship and all its men, and never would she speak William Taylor's name again. Sarah's come for you. Now that Sarah's come for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we don't really know like what the moral of that story is, but
yeah,
I guess it's that, I don't know, Sarah's really sick of William's crap, so. But yeah, kind of a funny song there. So this is a song, group of tunes that Brian and I wrote together, and we call these Cat Bacon. These are fairly new. And it's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. But the reason these are called Cat Bacon is because last summer there was a day where I was just super depressed and down. I could not bring myself to get out of bed. So I was lying in bed, and Brian tried to cheer me up by bringing me a plate of like eggs and vegetarian bacon, because I'm like a huge breakfast person. So he put it on the pillow next to me, could not bring myself to eat. So I fell asleep, and when I woke up, my ginormous black cat had jumped on the bed and started licking all of the salt, I guess, off the, like,
you can't
eggs.
use the word ginormous in a library.
I'm doing it. He is ginormous, though. And, like, licking all of the salt off my breakfast. And I didn't want it anyway, so I was like, he can have it, it's fine. So I'm just kind of, like, lazily watching this cat, like, devour my breakfast. I fall asleep again, and when I woke up, the cat was gone and my plate was gone. I was like, that's weird. And I was so curious. I dragged myself out of bed, and I looked down the hallway. Brian was sitting in his studio eating the eggs and the vegetarian bacon that the cat had just licked every inch of. Every inch of, guys. It was bad.
It was less salty than I expected.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, I hadn't seen Rose in a few hours. She'd been in bed with the covers over her head. And I'm sitting there working on something, and I just hear this strangled choking noise. And I look up, and she's standing there holding the covers with tears running down her face, making this gasping noise. And I thought something was terribly wrong. And I'm like, oh my God, honey, what's wrong? And then I realized she was just laughing so hard that she couldn't breathe. So you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
So we called this set of tunes Cat Bacon.
Well, a couple of years ago, Brian and I had been, I guess, playing Celtic music for a very long time. I started the fiddle when I was 13, and Brian was around that age, I guess, when you started playing fiddle. And so we had never really, I guess, played other styles of music. So a couple of years ago, we started doing these all violin covers of popular songs and releasing them online, just because it was something we had never done before, and which is a fun kind of project. So the very first one we did was we did "Sweet Child of Mine," which went viral, which was like the craziest thing that ever happened. That was very random. And the latest one we did is one of our favorite Beatles songs. And I guess for this song, we're both massive Beatles fans. Are there any Beatles fans out there? Come on, right? Who's not a Beatles fan? And we were lucky enough, we wanted to do like a really cool music video for this. And there's a really small town in Pennsylvania called Shenandoah. No idea if anyone knows where that is. Okay, a couple people, yeah. Very small town. It's a few hours away from us. And so we decided to go up there because there's an old abandoned school there that's been abandoned, I guess, about 30 years or so. And the history of the place is amazing, and it's fallen into disarray. So there's this guy who bought it and is like trying to raise millions of dollars to make it into this big community center because it's a pretty like depressed town at this point. And so, we're kind of hoping that he doesn't raise the money because it's like the perfect music video place. It's honestly the most beautiful building. It's crazy. There's still like chalkboards on the walls with lessons written on them, and like there's like notebooks, and there's health cards from the 1940s of the students and all this stuff. And meanwhile, there's also like grass and moss growing through the floor.
There's flowers growing through the floor of the classrooms. It's really incredible.
And the occasional like terrifying pigeon that just kind of rips past your hair as you're playing. But we had the run of the place for an entire day, and it was amazing. And we recorded a video for this song there, so you can look that up later. But here we go. This is called "While My Guitar Gently Weeps."
Are there any Scottish people here? There's one.
One.
There's a couple.
It's funny.
No one wanted to be the first to put their hand up for
I don't
some
know what
reason.
that
Is there
is.
something about Scottish people in this area?
We did a run of shows like not that long ago, and no joke, 2 audiences, like 2 nights in a row, back to back, we asked if there were any Scottish people, and both times a bunch of people in the audience went "Arr!" It's like those are pirates, but yeah, like I understand the
Same
enthusiasm.
basic idea.
Yeah, same thing, same exact.
Well, we're gonna play a Scottish song for you in honor of Robbie Burns Day.
Yeah, that's right. This is called Johnny Cope.
Sent a message from Dunbar. Charlie, meet me if you dare, and I'll teach you the art of war if you'll come to the Colts in the morning. When Charlie looked the letter upon, he drew his sword, the scabbard from, saying, "Follow me, my brave young man, and we'll meet Johnny Cope in the morning." Johnny Cope, are you walking yet? Or are your drums beating yet? If you were walking, I would wait to go to the Colts in the morning. Johnny, be as good as your word and meet me here with fire and sword, and don't you run like a frightened bird that flies to his nest in the morning. When Johnny Cope, he heard of this, he thought it wouldn't be amiss to have his horse in readiness to fly away in the morning. Hey Johnny Cope, are you walking yet? Or are your drums beating yet? If you were walking, I would wait to go to the Colts in the morning. Fly now, Johnny, get up and run. The drums of war make such a sound. It's best to wake in your own whole skin. It'll be a blood morning. When Johnny Cope to Dunbar came, they called to him, "Where's all your men? The devil take me if I know, for I left them all in the morning." Hey Johnny Cope, are you walking yet? Or are your drums beating yet? If you
Well, we've kind of been all over the place recently, and I know you're gonna laugh, but it's really nice to be somewhere so warm. Yeah, I knew you guys were gonna laugh at that. I saw everyone like huddled outside today in coats and scarves and hats, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It was like a short sleeve shirt, like. Yeah, it's been brutally.
To be fair,
gross at home.
30 degrees is cold anywhere. That's not.
This must be like Australia for you.
We hear
from
there's
Canada.
We hear there's iguanas falling out of the trees.
I know.
We feel really
That's
bad for
tragic.
the iguanas.
Yeah, we were talking about that today.
As long as there's no gators falling from trees, though.
That would be a different kind of problem, I think. Yeah. But yeah, we've been all over the place. A couple weeks ago, we were in Atlantic City, which you never know what kind of gig you're going to get as a musician. That was a long gig.
It actually wasn't that different from playing at the preschool yesterday morning, honestly. Same
Very
kind of jokes
similar.
landed. There was somebody just sitting in the corner crying for no reason.
Although at the preschool, we didn't actually have someone twerking to jigs and reels.
That's true.
Like we did at the Atlantic City, so that was something. It was pretty funny at the preschool, though. We always opened it up to questions, and of course these are like 4 and 5-year-olds. Brian and I are like, you know, we don't have kids. We're not around a lot of kids, so we're like trying really hard to connect with these little kids. And they just don't know what questions are. And so finally the teacher explained what a question was because they were just like yelling things at us. And this one really smart little boy, he's like, "My dad plays violin." And she's like, "No, I remember what a question is." He goes, "Did you know that my dad plays violin?" And we're like, "You're going places. I like your style." And she could not get anyone else to ask questions. And no joke, it was silent for a long time because these kids could not figure out what a question was. Finally, this one girl raises her hand and she goes, "Are you guys gonna have kids?" And we're like, "No, not after today. Thanks for checking in, though. Thanks for asking."
Actually, yesterday morning, we also had it happen that 2 little girls in one of the preschool classes both put their hands up really excitedly to ask a question, and the teacher called on one of them, and she went, "Where did you get your earrings?" Yeah. And then the teacher was like, "No, we're not asking questions about that." And then she pointed to the other little girl, and she's like, "That was my question, too."
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. It's a trip. It's a good time, though. I like it. We're going to do a few jigs for you now, and feel free to twerk. There's plenty of room. We're used to it now. This is a thing we have at our shows, so here's some jigs for you. so much.
We have another Scottish song to play. There's a Scottish singer-songwriter named Dougie MacLean. And actually, the last time we were down here in Florida a year ago, there was a guy who helped set us up with a couple of shows. His name's Cage O'Hanlon. He's a Florida Irish music staple, and he's become a friend of ours. And after we went back home, he wrote to us and he said, look, I know everyone always does this, but I have this song I think you guys should learn to play. And he sent us a link to this song by Dougie MacLean. And I think it's the first time ever that someone sent us a song and we actually sat down and worked it out and added it into our set. So it's going to be on our upcoming third album.
Yeah. And if you are interested, I know that, of course, you have friends and family in other parts of the state probably. We're going to be in Dunedin for 2 nights, tomorrow night and Friday night. And Saturday we're going to be at an Irish festival in Fort Myers. And Sunday we're going to be at Motorworks Brewing in Sarasota area. So, or Bradenton, I believe, is where it is. So, yeah.
Very good.
Tell your friends and family. I know,
please.
I'm on it today. It's good. So here we go. This is Turning Away.
Like the fearless child, what was fastened we've unlocked, revealing wondrous wild. And in search of confirmation, we have jumped into the fire and scrambled with our burning feet through uncontrolled desire. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. There's a well upon the hill from our ancient past, where an age is standing still, holding strong and fast. And there's those that try to tame it and carve it into stone, but words cannot extinguish it, however hard they're thrown. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away from here. Highland dreams by Kilcrennan they have nourished, and the mountain streams. And in searching for acceptance they had given it away. Only the children of their children know the price they had to pay. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear are turning away. And in darkness we do what we can. In daylight we're oblivion. Our hearts so raw and clear Thank you. I just want to acknowledge Khalil on the sound over there doing an amazing job, and Mike helping out with the lights and the cameras. Thank you guys so much. So we're going to pull Brian up back on the fiddle here. This is a slow air from our first album. If you are interested, we have 2 albums over there for sale. We're going to be hanging out there after the show, so please come say hi to us. And t-shirts and all that fun stuff. Also an email list, which I know it's like another email list, but guys, my emails are so good. Like, is anyone here on my email list? They're good, right? You'll get at least 1 cat video per email, but there's usually like way better stuff than that. It's good. So please sign up. We're going to do a very quick slow air so you don't fall asleep on a Wednesday evening. And then we're going to go into a couple of reels for you guys.
That's Brian there on first fiddle. Awesome. Well, we got a couple of more for you guys. This is one from our first album as well. And this is a group of reels. We didn't write these, but we call this Guns of the Magnificent Seven, which is the name of one of the tunes. And I'm going to say you're welcome to clap, but this is kind of a weird tune. The last tune in the set drops a beat at one point. And for some reason, every single time that we play this set of tunes at a festival, it's always when the Irish dancers decide to come out and do a step, and they have no idea.
But they don't know that it drops a beat.
Yeah.
We've seen some seriously sprained ankles.
Yeah. It's
at
insane.
Irish festivals. We always feel bad, but it's like, well, it's your funeral. You know?
Yeah. Go for it.
You'll see what we mean when we get to the last tune. Thank you so much.
Well, we want to thank you all so much for for coming out tonight, especially on a Wednesday night. This is great. This is such a cool thing you have here. We've never seen a library like this. This is unbelievable.
The whole recording studio thing back there, I don't know if you're all aware, there's a recording studio back there.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, I know.
We want it for ourselves.
Anyone with a library card gets 4 hours a month free in a professional recording studio back there. And there's the drum kit, there's gear, there's modular synthesizers, there's really nice microphones.
Are you working for the library now? What's happening? What is going on? No, it really is actually amazing.
Yeah, it's really quite an incredible thing that you guys have here. So.
Yeah, so thank you guys for coming out. Thanks again to Cleo and Mike and to Roz for having us. Thank you so much. Yep. This is so cool. We hope to come back at some point. We're going to leave you guys with one more. And this is from our newest album. This was written by an Englishman named Ed Pickford, and it's called Pound a Week Rise. Thank you again.
They work down the mine from Scotland to South Wales, from Teesdale to Tyne. And I'll sing you a song of a pound a week rise, and the men who are fooled by the government's lies. And it's down you go, down below Jack, when never see the sky, and you're working in a dungeon for a pound a week rise. In 1960, just a few years ago, the mine workers leaders to Lord Robins did go, saying we work very hard and every day we risk our lives, and we ask you here and now for a pound a week rise. It's down you go, down below Jack, when never see the sky, and you're working in a dungeon for a pound a week rise. And he made this decree, where the upward rises, then with you I will agree to raise up all your wages, to give you fair pay. For I was once a miner and I worked hard in my day. It's down you go, down below Jack, when now I see the sky, and you're working in a dungeon for a pound a week rise. In the bosom of hell, the output rose by 18% and more. And when 2 years had come and gone, it rose above a score. Then the miners they went to get their hard-won prize, to ask Lord Robins for his pound a week rise. Robins wouldn't give a pound, he wouldn't give 10 bob. He gave them 7 and 6 and said, get back to your jobs. So come on, you colliers, take heed what I say, and don't believe a kobold when they say you'll get fair pay. 'Cause they'll tell you to work hard just to make the upward rise. You'll get pie in the sky instead of a 1 pound rise. And it's down you go, down below Jack, when never see the sky, and you're working in a dungeon for a pound a week rise. And it's down you go, down below Jack, when never see the sky, and you're working in a dungeon for a pound a week rise. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.